Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Plays Minecraft and I'm joining my friend, I have no idea what to call you in this. Adam?
Yeah, just call me Adam.
Just call you Adam. Alright, I'm joining my friend Adam on his server. It's pretty freaking epic. Do you want to explain to me where the crap we are right now?
Alright, right now we're at the server spawn. Basically it's not just one big build, it's actually a monument to the gods built by one of the nations, Asen, in its prime. Basically, the player's gonna spawn here in the center, and they're probably gonna be like, oh, what the crap am I supposed to do right now? Because it's kind of overwhelming at first.
Yeah.
Basically, you explore, and what you do is you can go into one of the four central buildings, I guess. Each one represents a different class. There's the Scoundrel, which is pretty much a rogue. There's Warrior, Cleric, and Apprentice. Warriors are mostly what a warrior seems like. They're tanky, DPS. Then you have your clerics, healers, and then holy DPS apprentices, which are all types of mages, and scoundrels, which usually just sneak around. But the way it works is, on a lot of servers, players will have to pick their nation like right when they start, and they won't get to explore. But the way I have it is, you pick your class, and then as soon as you pick your class, you get teleported to let me warp to it. As soon as you pick your class, you actually get teleported here, which this is a portal hub.
This is like the center of the world, basically, right?
Yeah, each capital has a portal here, that's provided by the 5 wizards. The 5 wizards are lore characters who basically kind of control the flow of magic throughout the world. But basically, each capital you can come here for a price, and it has something to each other capital. So you start in the game, you choose your class, and you come here. And basically, I want you to go to any capital you want. I want you to explore, talk to the people in the nation, see how you like it. Because I want you to really like your nation before you pick it. And I know a lot of servers that are roleplay, if you pick your nation, they want you to stay with them. If you change, you can get in trouble. I would rather you didn't nation hop, but I want you to get a feel for the nation that you actually choose. And like it, because basically that nation's be your community and your family, which is what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to create a great community for you guys, so you can really have something fun to play. Also in this area, if you fly up high, Kermit, up here you got this cabin. This takes you to the resource world. There's a command block inside. Yeah, resource world. I mean, you can destroy stuff in the real world, but I have durability set on it. And in the resource world, I'll spawn it every few days. I mean, not every few days, every month or so. Enough so it won't ruin the economy, but so players can get materials. That way it'll keep the beautiful world from getting ruined. Yeah. I'll take us to the first capital.
Alright, so basically, you can choose whatever nation you want despite the class you choose, right?
Yeah, the class has nothing to do with the nation. Class defines how you PvP, and then how you roleplay as your character.
Yeah.
I'll take us. This is the first nation that we're gonna go to. It's Asen. It's the biggest one. All the other nations basically came from it, but the capital is still in the works, so this is kind of a sneak preview.
Nice.
So I'm only gonna show the palace, which is where we're at right now. Here, why don't you fly down here and we'll walk in as a player would.
Alright, so when you get warped in, I'm guessing you, start right here or something?
We actually have each capital or nation has a wizard tower, which is run by each roleplay wizard, and we have someone who plays each wizard.
Like a staff member?
So you go and talk to him, and then you just come explore. Asen's basically a giant empire. It's run by the Prime Imperator, and it's basically split into districts, and he elects governors, and you can run your district however you want. And the cool thing is, when we launch, I'll have obviously staff member playing the roles of the nation heads, but then as soon as we get enough player base, I'm probably gonna kill off each of the nation heads, and then players can take over. I know a lot of servers they make it so you have to be staff to be a nation head, but I want players to actually control the government.
You can rise in the ranks.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really want to show is just because you start off and you're poor doesn't mean you can't come out and be really rich or powerful in the world.
Yeah.
This is his throne. It's nice. Probably gonna do it how. I'm just gonna sit up in the rafters, and every time I see you sit on his throne, I'm gonna just slash kill whoever does it.
Oh my god, that's freaking brutal, dude. Alright, so this is what, the main nation?
It's the biggest and oldest. It's actually named after the first man. His name's Asen. He was the first guy to actually get all of the nation, or all the people to come together under one nation. Alright, I kinda lost you.
Oh, I'm flying around real quick.
Okay, do you see the big temple thingy up here?
Yeah, okay, I'm checking that out now. Oh my god, looks like the,
Mithir.
Yeah!
Yeah.
This is where the dude just freaking gets it on fire. Like,
I was watching Lord of the Rings when I built it.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, but basically, this nation, there's like a ton of gods, but this nation worships the 5 aspects of life, and they're not angels, but these people kind of see them as angels.
Like guardians of the world.
Yeah, but they don't really interact with the players. And then, down in this big old hole,
whoa,
you got the crypts. Yeah, I would just fall down. There's a lot of crypts. Basically,
oh my god,
not all of them have names on them, and if you, say you have a roleplay character and you kill them off, and you're like high up in the Asen, I'll put your name on one of the crypts and put you in the history.
That's so sweet. You can like change the history of the world by dying and shit.
You can, that's like the whole point. Like I have 5 lore writers who are literally just gonna sit there and write lore depending on what the players do, because the decisions the players make basically change the history. And that's what I like really want people to understand. Like, I have immersive lore. Like, every single decision you make basically affects the world in some way.
That's awesome.
This is the tomb of the first man. It's almost done. Just have to finish one side.
Yeah, I can tell that like half of it's there and half of it's not there.
Yeah. I'll show you some. I didn't know about this. I told the builders to make a secret entrance in here, and they ended up making like a random vault that only a random player will find. It's so weird. I told them you could keep it in here though.
I'm flying up. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is this a treasury room?
Yeah.
Ah, that's so cool.
Yeah. But this is the biggest one, and like all of the other ones, the lores kind of circle around this one. And if anyone gets a chance, like when you read the wiki, you'll see any lore events that we do or PvP events. They're gonna have some kind of lore behind them, and usually involve tension between the nations.
Yeah.
The next one we'll check out is Mundle, which I like. It's pretty nice. It's actually Mundle. Basically complete anarchy. They have no government. Basically the entire nation is run on backstabbing other people.
That's awesome. I think a lot of people really like that.
Yeah. This is the wizard tower for the Mundle, because they don't have a nation head and they don't have like a government, but they have a wizard because each nation does. Yeah. And he kind of just overlooks and makes sure that they don't do anything too crazy. And then below is the Library of Passing, which is in lore. It's basically just one of the libraries that one of the aspects built originally.
That's crazy.
But Mundle's great because the government can have as much anarchy or as much establishment as they want. Because when the server starts out, it's basically about 100 years after all of the nations split from Asen. So the capitals aren't that developed for the nations except for Asen, and the governments aren't that developed. So players basically, however they like interact with the government is how they'll go, and we'll change the lore towards it if it's good enough and if it's not like erratic, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like you'll have to have some sort of control over everything that happens, or else people will just go apeshit.
Yeah. One thing I really like is for the capitals, since they're not all fully done over the years, as the server not like real life years, but obviously in-game server years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have votes on the forums for which buildings players should be added. Then I'll give a list of materials players need to stockpile. They give them to me. I basically take those out of the world, so there's not a ton of materials flying around, and then I put in a building for the capital for them.
That's so cool.
So,
is there any like, can players build it all? Can they build houses or?
oh yeah, the entire world, minus capitals or lore locations, entire world is survival. You can break anything. I have Taona, so players can get towns and they can run the towns how they want. The way that towns work, I don't know if you've ever seen the Tiny plugin, but basically there's plots which you can set how big they are, and the towns go into the nations.
I think I've seen Townie before. I haven't like directly played with it, but I think I've seen it be put in action before.
Well, yeah, players make their own towns and they can go with their friends and stuff, build them up. And when you're inside the town, only other town members can break it, so you can't get griefed like that.
Yeah.
And here, we'll go to Bearmon next. Bearmon's basically really just snowy wasteland.
How big is the entire world? And like all these capitals can connect, right? Like I can just run to Bearmon if I really wanted to.
If you really wanted to, you could. It'd be a long trek. The entire world's 10,000 by 10,000.
Oh, that's pretty good. And it's all like filled in with stuff that you guys have added in, right?
Huh?
And this is all like custom terrain, because this isn't.
Yeah, this is all custom world terrain by iBuildPixels. He did a great job with it. I'm very happy at how it turned out.
Yeah. Looks really
good.
good.
Go to Bearmon. Basically, Bearmon is sort of, it's like a mix of Vikings and I guess kind of the Hans from Europe. It's all frozen wasteland, but the way it works is, the lore at least behind it is, it was a colony of Asen, but then one year they couldn't like keep it up, so they kind of abandoned it, so the people were left to fend for themselves.
Yeah.
And so they kind of believed in survival, and the way this nation works, like the government at least, it's really intertwined with towns, because there's clans and there's another name. We have another name for the clans. It's made up. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But it basically you take over a section and you pledge allegiance to the main nation head, obviously.
Yeah.
But then you can war with other clans. But then as long as when a war like breaks out between you and another nation, you guys all come together.
So it's almost like there's a civil war going on inside the nation.
At all times, yeah.
And then when shit gets real, you gotta just put your differences aside and bond together like brothers.
Yeah. But the government could change too, because say once the nation head steps down and we get a player nation head, if he wants to completely change how the government works, make it a dictatorship, he can. It's basically however the players want the governments to run, that's how they'll run, unless it just goes too crazy for us.
Yeah.
Because I obviously don't want some crazy player just trying to ruin the server with like how he runs the government.
Yeah, because you'll still have like moderators and people running around making sure nobody's going crazy.
I have moderators, which are basically normal players, except they can teleport to players to unlock chests and try and settle disputes, and they can also ban people. Yeah. But obviously they're going to try and settle dispute before the ban. And then I have admins who set up the towns and do the really important stuff.
Yeah, and then other than that, everything else is basically player run.
Yeah, we're really trying to emphasize the fact that most of it on here is player run.
Whoa. Oh yeah, this is the port. The trade in town.
Yeah. This nation is Heron. The capital is Junba, and basically this is the biggest trading nation. Lore is one of the gods, the one between fate and wealth. Basically brought certain people here that were called gilded, and basically set up this trade port. It's obviously not done. We're working on Highlander right now for the main capital, which is the capital of Asen.
Yeah.
And this nation is run by the Premier Suzerain. And it's basically one giant island broken up into 3 different territories. The Premier Suzerain runs one, and then he elects 2 people to run one for each other one. Mm-hmm. And those are both players. Obviously, they can run them however they want. Except the main thing is, that I have a plugin. How it works is it's a set tax that when players make purchases in this nation, they get taxed on it. It's just how the government works.
Yeah.
This is the premier's house. It's not, the interior is not done, neither is the exterior, but it's pretty big so far.
Yeah, it looks good, dude. God, every time I see like some of these builds, I just question why I can't do it, you know?
Yeah, it's, I mean, I can do it, and I did this, but it's
just, I can't, dude. My brain just cannot function on this level.
I just look at some nice reference pictures and then do it.
Yeah, I guess that's probably a good way to get a picture in your head.
Alright, so we've gone through Mundle, which is the anarchy, Barramon, which is basically the wasteland, it's a kingdom, Asen, the empire, and this is Heron. Heron's a plutocracy. Richest person is in charge, basically. Like, the more money you have, the more power you have, and you can bribe the officials. And say if you're a player nation head and someone wants a government official post and someone bribes them, I mean, you can complain to me, but I'm not going to do anything because that's just how the government works.
Yep, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, man.
One thing I do love about this nation, though, is they actually don't have their own military because since it's such a trading-based nation, they didn't really feel the need.
Can you, like, hire mercenaries?
So, yeah, that's what I'm going to. They have... go. This is the Maritime Company's headquarters. Basically, wait, it teleported you, right?
Yeah.
Alright, basically, every year they hire them out for a price. So every year, Heron's government will give these guys some money, and if they don't pay them, these guys can basically raid Heron as much as they want. And if any other nation wants to pay them more to turn on Heron, they can. It's basically whoever pays them more.
Yeah, whoever's got the gold gets the swords, you know?
Yep. The inside can hold 40 people. Well, it has 40 beds for regular people, and then you have 5 commanders, and then the actual leader.
Dude, I love the trebuchets, dude. These are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good builder who did those. Here, if you want to come down here and you can see. The rooms are small, and I'm still doing paintings because I'm getting custom paintings for the server, obviously.
Yeah, for like the texture pack.
Yeah. The rooms are small for the soldiers, actually. You get one small chest for each soldier, but then you also, there's a storage downstairs. Yeah, I'll just take you there. And I love this corp because basically, if you can pay them more, they're gonna turn on you, which is, it's a good aspect because.
Yeah.
And the main part of them is I cannot stress enough how when it's on the server, I'm gonna make sure that they don't get too allied, because I know a lot of times with mercenaries on other servers, at least, they'd be allied to certain nations and friends, and then they would just completely be biased on how
only be their mercenaries, and then that nation will just rule everything because they've got all the weapons and all the firepower.
What we're trying to do, like, one thing I'm stressing other than like the immersive lore is the fact that when we have all these organizations to start off with, like, we're gonna have staff run ones, but then once we get players in them and we teach the players how they're supposed to run, it's gonna be all player run organizations. I'm personally hoping that in like the Haida server we got 5 mercenary organizations all competing each other for bids. Yeah. Like one nation's like, you work for me, I'll pay you this much, and they're just all competing. I'm hoping we'll get assassin guilds. We're actually working on an assassin guild. I don't want to give too much details on it, but the way it's gonna work is really neat. Trade organizations, which is one thing that I like, because I know in Heron the way we wrote the government is if you have like a giant corporation, say a trade corporation or business, you can basically buy out the government.
This is crazy.
Which is something I like. And then Taona is the last nation I totally forgot. Taona, so far, that's one everyone seems to love on the website. It's a democracy. It's split into 7 districts. One of the districts holds the capital. And basically how it works is each district will do, like, I think we're doing every month, they will elect a chancellor or a representative to go on the, I want to say it's the council of the elect. Yeah. But so there's 7 on the council, and each one from a different district, and then from that 7 they pick the actual leader of the nation. So it's literally completely
it's a straight up like election.
Yeah, it's completely player choice.
Is the election like held inside the server, or is it like
no, the election is run by the Council of 7. So if they want to be corrupt and do that, then they're corrupt and do that. As long as they don't mess with as long as they don't completely mess up the flow of the server, I will let them do whatever they want to like make it seem like they're actually in charge.
I mean, okay, how crazy do you have to be in order to get like banned from this? Because I feel like you could be absolutely crazy and still like have a role to play inside this world. Because in every world there are still crazy people.
If I see you ridiculously griefing the wilderness, griefing another player's town, bullying, like really bad obscenities, I'll ban you. And if you like completely destroy the way a government works, I'll ban you.
Yeah.
But it won't get that far because most likely I'll just give you a warning beforehand, and unless you're a complete douche, you'll probably change your ways.
Hopefully, that's the hope.
So on the map, actually, I totally forgot for Taona. So you have the Council of 7, you have the leader, and then you also have, for each district, based on the amount of towns and the populations of the towns, you have basically it's like the House of Representatives from America, where you have set. Like, you'll get set representatives and they'll vote on things, actually. And people won't know, but I'll have staff members hiding as, like, real players, making sure the elections are going right and stuff. Yeah. Making sure, like, people aren't cheating.
Are there any, like, NPCs, like villagers or anything else like that?
Not, like, as you would see on... Because it's not, like, a hard RP server. Like, it's not, like, super strict RP.
Yeah.
So I don't have a ton of them. I might have like a few here and there in the capitals for certain purposes.
I was thinking well, you got this blacksmith over here. I was thinking it'd be pretty sweet to have like a custom villager or something like that. Unless there are players that will fill in every single role like that. But
well, I have I have a class plugin, and the professions actually get pretty in depth. So you would actually have someone like you have a profession that they're the only people who can craft like iron, gold, or diamond armor.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd freaking love to be that guy. Holy cow.
Another thing is, if you on the website we have a map, and we're getting a nice rundown. But on the map you have all of these continents, like the main ones that have all the nations, and then there's a lot of ocean space on it. It seems like there's a ton of continents that you can't see on the map because they're undiscovered and islands and stuff. And the way I'm doing it is the first month of the server. Maybe not the first 3 weeks or so of the server, you won't be able to settle a town on those lands because they'll be undiscovered. You can go there, mine, set up bases, and then once that 3 weeks is up, if you want to set up a town there, it'll basically kind of be like a faction, is what I'm hoping it'll be like. So you fight over it for your nation, and if you can hold it for a certain amount of time, it basically, that island will be drawn. Yeah, it'll be drawn as the nation.
The claimant for Spain!
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then also, if a player, say you have a player and he has a town, and the town has 20, 30 people in it, and they want to go conquer an island or a continent for themselves, if they write good enough lore and backstory for it, we'll allow them to become their own nation with their own government and stuff.
That's awesome. I actually really like what you did with the doors here. How they're on different sides.
Oh yeah, I didn't build this one, but this was done by one of my better builders.
Yeah.
Marrow. But
very, very good.
I really want to show, like, because the way we're doing with the nations and like they can create their own nation, I want players to understand if the world is whatever they choose it to be. Like, however they act literally will affect so much on what happens on the server.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions while I try and remember what I was about to say.
Okay, a couple questions I have are, okay, so when is the release date? When do you plan on releasing the IP out to the public for me and other people to come on and join the world?
I'm aiming for July, the end of January, for it to be out for people to test, at least people to test and play On the website, you can buy a backer rank, which gives like pledges. It gives certain benefits in game and access to like beta, so you could come on and watch us build. And then alpha, alpha is basically you come on like a week or two before we actually launch, and you can start setting up your town.
Wow, that's awesome.
Just basically so that like those packages are just so I can pay for certain things for the server to try and make it better for you guys.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of server owners that just try and like make the money so they can do whatever. I'm basically just trying to do this to get you guys like a great community and stuff.
Holy shit, you have Tavasny on here?
Yeah, he's one of the builders.
He's a freaking moderator on my server.
Yeah, I know, I saw that when I went on. He's on Torrentine build team.
What a freaking weirdo. Alright, another thing that I have, which you just kind of touched on, was, I guess, like, donator perks. What happens if you donate? What donator packages do you have?
Alright, well, I got backer pledges, which are only available before launch. And basically, the backer pledges give you a special in-game cape, special title. They give either access to the beta or alphas. I know one of them gives you access to expansions. Oh, I'm gonna answer your question one like real quick, but that reminded me of something else I want to talk about. I'm gonna aim for month. I might do it like sooner. Every month I'm gonna have a new continent world painted, and then I'm gonna expand the size of the world and basically bring it in. And there will be lore for each new continents.
How often are you doing this?
I'm probably gonna do it every month. So the world's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. I might end up doing like extra worlds because we actually have it in the lore, so the lore can provide for extra worlds.
Yeah.
Basically, that's just so I don't want to get boring ever. I always want it to keep being exciting for the players.
Always expanding, always adding to the world.
Yep. And when I add new continents, the continents will have lore. So like some will be, say one's like rich in coal, iron, like it depends on the island. So players will basically fight over it to try and get the minerals and try and colonize it.
That's awesome.
Back to your question. There's 4 backer pledges. The highest one is Archduke, cost 100. It comes with a town when you start, a certain amount of plots. It has access to PvP beta, which you test the classes out for me. You can basically give any input you want before we launch, and then you have alpha for like actually just playing on the server. Like you can explore, you can watch us build, it's up to you. But if you watch us build, you're gonna be in creative, but you can't break anything. If you're gonna actually play, you're gonna be in survival, obviously. And then the second one I want to say is 50. It goes 10, 25, 50, and 100. And then as you go down, like you start getting less and less beta and alpha access. I think the cheapest one gives you beta access, which basically will let you come on like a couple days early and start playing before everyone else, so you can like gather materials and get your town up before like the bulk of the players get on.
Yeah.
Then I have the server packages, which basically those include a title on the forums in game, and then they come with a town and the class levels. You can buy a town with in-game money, but obviously it's going to be expensive to be realistic. So the way you get most of your towns is through the store, and then you can buy in the store you can buy class levels to level up, and you can buy extra plots for your town.
Okay. So another question I have that I've always been stumped by joining servers like these is I'll spawn in, I'll choose a class or something like that, and then most of the time I'll get like teleported somewhere into some random coolly built place, and then I'll have no idea what to do from there. So is there any like tips you can give to people who are just starting onto the server?
Yeah. Well, the way I'll have it set up is basically you spawn in, you'll get some food, some wood, and you'll get a little book. The book will basically say, "Welcome to Mithir. Go to one of the 4 pillars to choose your class." And then once they choose their class, it'll teleport them to that portal area I showed you earlier. And I have a command block that it senses when someone gets teleported there. So basically we give them a book, and that book will say, follow the portals to the different capitals, explore, find out which one you want. So it'll basically tell them, and then I'll have back to where you brought in NPCs. The NPCs will be kind of in capitals to like kind of direct people where to go in a way, just so they can explore.
Yeah.
But I really like, I know, because I know when I first joined some servers like this, I was so confused at what to do. But I'll have like the console, you can set up command box, so the console will kind of like direct you, and I'll have the voice as like one of the gods.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, just so like, so it's still roleplay-ish, but it's not like super hardcore, and you like don't get lost.
Okay. Alright, the last question I have that I can think of off the top of my mind is this texture pack, this resource pack. Are you adding to it? Are you like developing it? Is it your texture pack or?
No, this is Conquest Texture Pack by Monsterfish. I have a link on the website. It's the official texture pack of the server for the moment, because we're kind of we're trying to like we're developing our own at the moment. Where what we're gonna start to do at first is we're gonna add pictures. Instead of the pictures, they're gonna be flags for each nations, and then slowly we're gonna start doing different blocks. I have the owner of the build team, Rob. He's gonna help me with the texture pack, because basically I'll be trying to editing the blocks to kind of fit the build styles for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
makes sense.
like as we expand, there's gonna be ruins in the new places, or in old castles, things to explore where you have to kill stuff. Probably a month after launch, I'll try and release some dungeons, because I gotta see if this, like, how it's coming at first, you know. And oh, I totally forgot. We have another cool thing is at the portal area. We have a portal to a PvP island, which is this. It's basically all gravel, stone, and obsidian, and there's a lot of lore behind it. I'm not going to go into the lore right now, but basically there's a ton of hidden caves everywhere. If you go into a cave, you could either find a chest with treasure in it, or you could stumble upon a pressure plate that'll actually spawn a ton of pigmen. And you could also come here in PvP. There's 4 fortresses built on the 4 corners, one for each nation, except in the center there's one that's like a big old ruin for Asen, because it's the oldest.
Yeah.
And basically you keep fighting, and there's objectives for you to do. I have a plugin that kind of does the objectives, and if you can hold or win the PvP battles, etc., you'll get like a reward.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Just because like you can raid towns, but this kind of promotes other than mindless PvP. There's kind of like objectives and reasons why you should do it.
Yeah. And treasure to be found. Everybody loves treasure.
Yeah. What else?
How big is this PvP area?
PvP island, I want to say it's like at least 300 by 300. I think it's bigger though. It's pretty big. Players will be able to build here, but I'm gonna regenerate every so often, just so like you can't build a ton of traps and be kind of cheap about it.
Yeah.
And every one time I regenerate it, the treasure will be in different locations.
Oh gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah. We have another thing we have is, I know like a lot of servers like this, the economy kind of gets like crapped, but the way I'm trying to do it is I'm gonna let the players run the economy, but not so hard that like they crash it. I have an economist guy who's in college who's helping me with it, and he can explain it so much better than I, but he's basically having it so it'll run in a way where at first prices will either be really low or really high, but then they'll sort of equalize in the end. And because if you try and have too much staff interference with the economy, it'll a lot of times just go down.
Yeah, economy is definitely something that I've only ever learned from Civilization, so I don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
All I know is like supply and demand, man.
Yeah, that's why like at the beginning we'll have chest shop, like admin shops where we'll buy stuff from you, but we're only buying rare stuff like diamonds, gold stuff, so like you have to work to get the money and like to release it at first.
Yeah.
That is basically all I can think of at the moment. That pretty well describes the server. All I could say is just check in the website, keep looking, because we'll probably be updating like with a lot more info, because it's really kicking in right now because we're closer to finish. So I just keep checking in the website, and I hope you guys enjoyed the server so far.
Yeah, all right. Okay, I'm gonna do a little outro saying, yeah, once again, everything that you will probably be looking for will be down in the description, including the texture pack, the website, and I think that'll be it for now. When we go public, I'll put the IP down in the description as well, so check around for that whenever, towards the end of January, you said?
Yeah. End of January should be right. That also reminds me, keep an eye out for the main trailer. I got some guys who are film majors in college helping me with it. If you ever seen any of the World of Warcraft trailers, it's like a mix of that, and then it's like it just got a shot of pure awesomeness.
Pure awesomeness is always welcome in anything you do.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little teaser thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
question and answer. If you guys have any other questions, be sure to put them down in the comment section below, and we will try to cover them.
Yep. Yeah. Comments, or just check on the website and ask questions on there. I'm always on to answer anything you guys have questions on.
Yeah.
See you guys around.
Alright. Peace out, guys.